Great Falls Emergency Services is a critical care paramedic ambulance service. In addition to that, we're also responsible for providing 911 coverage and transport to all of Cascade County, which has a population of about 85,000.
Here for Habersham County Emergency Services, we run fire EMS rescue and community paramedicine for a county of 53,000 people.
The volunteer side of the Sheriff's Office, we are a group of special deputies to basically provide volunteer services for the office.
Kent Public Safety Dispatch is a consolidated dispatch center serving the Kendall County area of Illinois. We serve 13 different agencies, 5 police and 8 fire departments, and we have a population service area of about 130,000.
For years and years, we used a paper system. So if you wanted a day off and you had to come in here, check the calendar, turn a paper in, then you had to wait for your battalion chief to come back, approve the day. It was a lengthy process. So we had issues because a lot of our people live out of the city, so they were having to drive, 20, 30 minutes to schedule a day off.
It was all in a book, paperwork, X's, checks, that kind of stuff. I don't need that.
We previously used a spreadsheet for scheduling in our department. It would be done on a spreadsheet, printed off, and left in a 3-ring binder for all employees to use. When someone wanted to view it, they'd have to ask who had it. So there was a lot of yelling across the room, who's got the schedule? It got very messy, especially with trades, crossing out one shift, adding on another shift in those tiny little spaces on there. Some of it would be legible, some wasn't. You'd have to go back to the employee and say, what happened here?
For years, we were using just an Excel spreadsheet, and it became very complicated. We have a lot of overtime and a lot of extra duties, meetings, trainings, so it was very complex to fit it all on a spreadsheet and to keep pace with the ever-changing nuances of the schedule. So we were looking for something more automated and something that people could check from home.
We had merged back in March of 2018. So with that merge, neither the ambulance service or the fire department had a good system of staffing. It was all done really haphazardly on paper.
Before Aladtec, we used a Google Calendar. What was bad about it was the inability to have any sort of automation involved with the Google program at all. Very inefficient, very time-consuming.
It was kind of a personal problem that I live about 20 minutes away from the station, and to take a day off could take me some time.
When I entered into this position, we were creating a schedule on Excel. And that took a fair amount of man hours to publish a schedule for a whole month with 50 different employees. It was a static schedule, and it wasn't able to accommodate all the changes that we were making. So we'd be having to redo the schedule, repost it all the time. Our situational awareness for our employees as to who's on what truck or what day they're working was very limited. So out of desperation to find something, knowing that there must be something better out there that's going to help us make our lives easier and increase the knowledge to our staff as to what's going on, we began our search and we found Aladtec.
I believe that it's made our scheduling much easier, not only for regular work days, but for PTO time. We use it to track our light duty people, light duty leave requests, staff leave requests.
Overtime is a big one, time off requests and processing them. And back in the day, it was all, paper. Things could get misplaced, lost, get confusing on the spreadsheet. It's a lot easier with the forms.
With Aladtec, my job is much more efficient now. The clinicians have the ability to either use their smartphones or a desktop computer to access the program.
The Aladtec system offers a great system for making last-minute changes to any part of the schedule you need to do in an event like this, where the schedules need to be fluid for the entire run of the event.
There's been quite a few aha moments in Aladtec where you're just like, oh, it's so nice, thank you that you guys thought of that and you have those features available. I'm surprised that your developers, I feel like they've worked in EMS and they understand some of the challenges that we have as far as maintaining certifications or maintaining equipment.
The Aladtec system provides me with a great tool for being able to schedule and saves me a ton of time on having to recontact and reshuffle schedules.
This allows our employees to go on their smartphone or computer, put in for a vacation day, it immediately goes to their supervisor. They can look and approve that or disapprove it. Time swaps where one person might work for another one tomorrow and they pay them back a different day.
With Aladtec, employees are able to switch and trade shifts, perform those tasks 24 hours a day, 7 days a week without waiting for management's approval prior to doing so.
We want to help our employees get time off and have their vacations and be able to trade shifts because this is such a crazy type of business. And by allowing them to go into something like that and do it, it makes it so it's not that much effort on management's part. They kind of do it themselves, we just okay it. That's huge.
Within the Aladtec system, we go in, we select that we want to trade or get rid of the shift altogether, and then it goes out for supervisor approval. Somebody can pick it up, and then from there, we get email notification back that says our shift has been filled.
One of the things that works out really well for me with the Aladtec system is I get notifications on my cell phone that there's been a change or a change request or a trade. Frequently I'm not at the office for those, and I'm able to just address it on my laptop and take care of things right at home just as easily as I can in the office.
A real nice feature that we frequently utilize is the text messaging through Aladtec. We're able to select the whole member database or select based on skill level or certification level, full-time versus part-time, and send reminders to employee for staff meetings.
Our training captain can go in there and set up a little section that when an employee logs on to Aladtec, they've got to check a box saying, I've read this policy and I'm aware of it before they can do anything else in Aladtec. So we know every employee has had an opportunity to follow up on that new policy or update.
We use that program in Aladtec a lot where it allows us to go in, pick out the individual people, and then send them a message, whether it's on the text on their phone or whether it's an email, all that kind of stuff.
We use Aladtec to track, they're called state certified instructors. They have to attend certain classes to keep their certification all within a certain time period. In Aladtec, I can put down when they were certified as an instructor and when their certification expires, and that'll prompt me to make sure that I get them in the class, and that's a very valuable resource.
We have several times where we have to find staffing for an event, and just by clicking on a button, putting some text in it and send it out is so much better than trying to go through an email list and sending out customized emails.
Originally it was all about the scheduling, and then once we started getting into the forms section and building our own forms to take a lot of the other stuff we did on paper too and put it electronically, and in the reports that we can run to see where all the time's being used at.
So every officer fills out a daily patrol log. So on there it'll say start time, end time, the call for service type that they're on, the location, and whether or not they're a backup officer, and that information we can't track with any other system.
Every truck's checked daily, bumper to bumper. All of our forms for that now is in Aladtec.
We use the forms quite a bit. That has definitely helped us organize things like equipment outages, daily observation reports that we do with our new hires.
The Aladtec Forms Configurator is a very great tool for us. It makes my job personally a lot easier, streamlines the entire process. When creating the forms, the drag and drop feature is very user-friendly.
We do everything from vehicle inspections to gear inspections to vehicle accident reports and all that in the forms section.
I like the forms with the equipment problems because we're not always here when the issue started, and at least I can look on there and see where was it reported to, what's the progress.
The reports that I typically run I'll run sick time and vacation time usage per pay period, so I know what those numbers are at.
Now, with Aladtec's online features, all those forms are able to go directly to their appropriate reporting section. If I want to simply look at vehicle maintenance forms, I can just filter them out and look at those. Narcotics forms, ambulance readiness reports is the rig check that we use. And if I want to see just how the rig check is looking that day, I can just log on my phone or computer and look at those forms without having to worry about a mountain of paperwork.
Just looking at PTO accrual time off, or where overtime is being used, or even reports of what guys are doing with the Aladtec system.
Some of the challenges that are presented by doing special events such as the Saints schedule are a variety of schedules, day games, night games. It's a dynamite tool for taking care of the scheduling issues, especially for a special event such as the Saints.
We use events for on-call supervisor, so if there's not a supervisor on duty and they have an issue, they just pull up Aladtec, they can look and instantly see who's on call and call the on-call supervisor. We use it for holidays or somebody visiting or special events like you say.
It's also allowed us to post our events, some of our PR events, some of our ride-along requests.
I had to add a shift the other night for a concert that included a mosh pit, so we had to add 2 slots for the grandstand slot. I go into the event configurator, pick the grandstand position, and add the 2 positions for the times that we needed them. Sent out a fill request, and the shifts were filled by the evening.
We also use it for silly things like fridge cleaning day. It works.
There is an area in Aladtec that allows for us to put all of our policies and procedures, and any updates can be immediately loaded into it.
With the large special deputy group we have to have libraries of information available to everyone wherever they are.
The biggest thing that we've done is using that storage component to put all our training videos and all our education stuff in there for members that don't make the meeting. So that's been a huge thing.
We are using the discussion feature to allow our special deputies to discuss topics among each other. That could be training, equipment issues, shift topics, you name it, we discuss it.
If a guy wants to take some PTO time, he can get on his iPhone, do a request. His battalion chief, whether he's on duty that day or off, he can approve the day, and he knows pretty quick that he's been approved for the day or not.
Being able to get on your phone and look at this stuff on the phone, that's huge. Like, you can do that at any time that you want.
It's very user intuitive. Most employees require very little training, especially on the mobile platform. They just simply log in with their username and password, and it's self-explanatory as to what they're viewing and what they want to do next.
The mobile service for Aladtec is vastly superior to what we had before. I would get a request, and if I have days off and there's no other supervisor working, I would need to take care of that request. With Aladtec, I could go in there and log in within seconds and approve any time off that's on there within a minute. I could basically just click a couple buttons and it's done.
It's good for people to be at home and be able to put in their time off requests and check the schedule. If they forgot maybe they had some overtime that week, it's easy just to pull it up, look, and yeah, I need to be to work such and such a date and time.
We have iPads in every unit, and we use those along with the form section to do our daily truck checks, our inventory checks, our fuel logs to manage the fuel on the trucks. And then we can run a report at any time to see what truck is using how much fuel and where that's all going.
We have access to call Aladtec 24/7. If you call most any company, you either get somebody at the front desk or an answering machine, automated, please push this number. When you call Aladtec, their IT department is the first person that answers the phone. So if you got a problem, that's who they want you to talk to.
The other great part of Aladtec is the support that we get. They're able to help me with any question, no matter how small or big.
We had no idea when we purchased it. We were purchasing staffing software. All the other components that come with this just blew us away. I mean, we have streamlined so many processes we do into one system, Aladtec, that it has made life so much easier.
Definitely saves quite a bit of time. Probably in the fuel savings and the time savings, I think the money is definitely worth what we spend on it.
Aladtec is so big, and so you just start off with the scheduler and the member database, and then you start to explore all these other little avenues of things that Aladtec can do for you.
Immediately, we saw the advantages of taking a tremendous amount of time off of our shift supervisors.
I think the hours a day that probably saves me is at least 1 to 2 hours a day. And if I add that through the week, I mean, that's up to 10 hours a week that I have to concentrate on more important tasks throughout the day.
It'd be difficult, honestly, to imagine GFES without the help from Aladtec.
I wish I would have found this company years ago. They have went out of their way to make things not only easy, it's probably the most economical as far as price for what all you get of anything I've ever seen.
Oh, this is really not a big expense at all. Minute compared to a lot of the expenses we're out of as a municipal fire department. I think it's well worth the money spent.
I think it's a great system. I use it, both as an employee and now in management scheduling for my department. It's convenient, it's so much cleaner, and it's just accessible anywhere.
I absolutely would recommend Aladtec to other organizations. The prior organization that I used to work for actually used this program as well. So this idea was brought over and implemented, and it kind of spreads like wildfire.
It's a dynamite tool for taking care of the scheduling issues, especially for a special event.
One of the big comments I heard from all the special deputies after we went live with Aladtec is, we should have done this years ago.
This, when I came in and saw it, I was like, this is the way to go. This was a good decision.
I think it's a great product for public safety in general.
And their customer service is just through the roof.
It's a great system and great people to work with.